Welcome to BALLGOWNS and Booze. My name is Natalie. This is my wine, the Verwood Estates, and this is Elouise, the beautiful Elouise from England.
Yes.
Today we are cooking a prawn gazpacho,
yes,
which is a cold soup, which doesn't sound very appetizing.
I don't usually like cold soups.
No, I'm not really a fan. But it was a food wine testing recommendation from Teddy, our sommelier, our French sommelier. So I'm really keen to try it with our Shiraz Rose, which I have to say is my baby, my pride and joy. So many people who have tasted the Shiraz, that's Momo, Lady Momo. So many people who have tasted the Shiraz who don't normally like Shiraz love it. I would say it's a light Shiraz or a really full-bodied flavoured rosé. It's delish.
I'm very much enjoying it.
Yes,
It's
so
lovely.
cheers to our Shiraz
Cheers.
and cheers to prawn gazpacho.
Prawn gazpacho.
Prawn gazpacho.
Normally the thought of cold soup,
Ugh.
but when I'm reading through this, it actually sounds quite exciting. So eager to find out what it tastes like.
Let's have a go. So we start with peeling the prawns.
Yeah.
Now you can buy cooked prawns, and we're a bit silly and brought uncooked prawns, but which is going to taste nicer. I'm an Australian girl and a Queenslander, so I'm seasoned at peeling prawns. So we'll show Elouise.
Yes, please do.
It's about the only thing I've been able to show you in our cooking so far.
You show me many glorious things.
So we chop the heads off. We peel underneath, so you just pull apart the sides here, and you just rip it open.
Okay,
Flip
so
it
it's
over,
essentially the
and
same
you'll
as
get
when
it
it's cooked.
all in one go.
But it looks much easier than when it's cooked. Sometimes it can be a bit stuck.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder. So we have to deveal the prawn. So we just split it open there, and voila! Out comes the poop chute. Ew.
You make it look very easy.
It is cool. I've had lots and lots of practice of peeling prawns and eating them.
I love prawns. Prawns are my favourite.
So there we go. If you get it right, all in one go. Or maybe two. Didn't do that one so well, did I? And tail and deveal. Your turn. So I do have a story I'm going to tell, but it might be too gross, and you might want to cut it out. We'll see.
See, mine's not. Do you go down the middle
Let
to
me show you
peel
again.
it off?
I'll show you.
Because
No,
I've
don't
kind
go
of
down
peeled
the
mine off
middle.
in stages.
You head.
Yeah.
You just go up on the sides.
Okay. Might be a bit slower for you.
That's good. So I grew up in North Queensland, Mackay, where we used to go prawning when I was a child. With my mum and dad, my granddad and my uncles. We'd go prawning back when there was plentiful of prawns in the ocean. And you go in this swamp and they would take out the big nets, one on each side, and they'd have their big boots and trudge through the mud and swamp till it was coming up to here, go out as far as they could in the ocean, dragging this massive net. And then they would come back and all the kids would be sitting there waiting
For the prawns?
for the prawns. So we'd pick out the prawns, but I would pick out the animals and put it back in the bin. So get all the little fish and throw them back in. The only ones I didn't throw back in, which is a bit naughty of me, was the puffer fish, because we like to tease them and watch them go. So that was a bit naughty. So my apologies to all the puffer fish, and I pray that I don't come back as a puffer fish. We finished our prawns, and this is what they should end up with. No tail skin on the end, and no poop tube down the middle, and no feet and no skins. Nice and green. So cooking the prawns, this frying pan will start off nice and low and then let it come up slowly. Now, I like to cook prawns with butter. We do have to be mindful of not over cooking the butter, because butter has a low boiling point and is carcinogenic and will burn. But because prawns don't need too much cooking, we can cook in butter and it just tastes nicer than oil. That's a big dollop of butter. So I feel like Eloise is not doing a great job because I have an empty hand.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I will take that. I'm slacking.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Now, I do have a story to tell, and please don't judge me. I am Maltese, or half Maltese, and like a lot of European cultures, we eat everything. Excuse me. And my mum eats the brains of the prawns, cooked prawns, and you suck the brains out. And I was brought up with that, and it's delicious, and I never thought it was gross or any different. And then I went out for a dinner date with my new boyfriend, trying to impress him as you do, but there's no impressing when it comes to seafood. It's not a pretty picture, me eating seafood. And I'd suck the brains out of the prawns, and he was totally disgusted. Needless to say, he still married me, so obviously did something right. The prawns, I see these ones here, they're going nice and white. I'm sure you've all seen cooked prawns. They go red, the pink bits go red and the translucent bits go white. And we know they're prawns, they're cooked. Maybe turn it up a little bit more. As I said in previous sessions, I'm not a patient cook.
How do you usually...
Oh, see, that smells yummy. There's no garlic in that. It's just prawns and butter. And it
See,
smells good.
I like garlic with my prawns. Then I usually just soak up all the juices with a nice loaf of bread or something like that. Buttery bread. Soak up all the juices.
How do you do that looking like that? How do you look like that, eating like that?
You don't know. Very messy whilst eating prawns, usually.
No, I mean...
Oh!
Yes. So fit and pretty.
I'm not sure. Metabolism. It will all catch up with me soon.
Like the French with their... What were we talking about the other day?
Wine.
Cream.
French drink.
Cheese.
Oh, cream.
Cream and butter. They love butter.
Cooking a lot of cream and butter, yet they're also petite.
Yeah, I don't really get that. We need that in our genes. We need some French in our genes.
There was a trend of a French diet, wasn't there? I remember there being a trend.
What was in the
I don't know what's in the diet.
I have heard that a small glass of wine every day is good for your health. I think red wine specifically.
Drink wine. Good for your health. So prawns are looking good on both sides, nice and pink and white. There's lots of butter in there to keep them nice and moist. And just in the middle, we want to make sure they're not translucent in the spinal area. See? It's white. So I think we're good to go. Now, we have to let those prawns cool because this is a cold dish. Okay, so we're putting in
a few of the ingredients. So we're going to add hot juice. So
it's V8 tomato juice, hot, means spicy.
Is that a brand? Or?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Hot, big, spicy, not hot as in, oh, it's hot to touch.
Yeah.
Used with the Bloody Mary.
Lovely.
Should we put this
2 cups of cold water. So we have some water there. Some lime juice, so we're going to squeeze some limes. And some minced fresh coriander.
So, how do we mince coriander?
That's something that I haven't come across before, how to...
No.
I've never even read from a recipe minced coriander. No. So I'm intrigued to see that. The water.
I'm feeling like rather than just cut it, we actually have to specifically mince it, because I know when we make cocktails that when you're making like a mint julep cocktail with the mint, you want to clap the mint to break the seal of
to release
the herbs. So because we're not cooking the herbs, I'm assuming
we do actually need to
bring out the flavour. So,
hey Siri, how do you mince coriander?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you mince coriander. Check it out.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we've just found out how to mince coriander. And actually there's not really a mincing. I was thinking of a mini mincing device.
I thought that would be mincing like a minced garlic.
Yeah, so they just say that you can chop the coriander stems off as much as you would like. I mean, I don't like too much of the stem, so I'd maybe even go a bit higher.
And in case you ever have a recipe that says cilantro, that's coriander.
Yeah, which
American.
I didn't know. I'd never heard that. And then once you've chopped off the stem, you just want to chop the coriander. And you're going to be chopping this as fine as you can and then kind of squishing it down
so
with a knife.
you do a break. I guess the point of the mincing is you're breaking
releasing all of its goodness.
the oils.
Yeah, the flavours.
Coriander is an exceptionally good
Oh God, nearly chopped my finger.
herb.
I love coriander.
I never used to, but now I do.
Quite like it on a like a chickpea curry or something. It's nice.
You know that awesome green-looking smoothie that we have in the morning? You're all so jealous because you want it.
It looks delicious. It sounds delicious too. Very
Smells
healthy.
delicious.
You're the vision of health with
That's
that.
why my son holds his nose when he drinks it. It has coriander. Okay, how much lemon juice did we need?
Lime juice.
Lime, sorry.
It said half a cup.
Half a cup, that looks like half a cup.
That should be fine.
And water was another one of the top 6.
Cold water specifically.
Cold water, specifically cold water. I feel like we just need to add some vodka and a celery stick and we're done.
And drink it from the bowl.
Now what's next?
So you need some salt.
Excuse me.
And hot pepper sauce.
Can I tell you, my brother and I, since birth, him and I have been in competition because he stole my birthday just 7 years later.
Do you have the exact same birthday?
Yes. Was not
What are the
impressed.
chances of that?
1 in 365.
Did you say 7 years later? Get the maths out.
But he'd done something to annoy me, as he often does. Love you, Johnny. And for Christmas, I was getting his Christmas present, and at the lolly shop, the Barrel Sweets and Treats, Michelle showed me these gummy bears, the world's hottest gummy bears. I think it was like 1 million. Do you know? Anyone know the measurement of chili?
No, I don't.
Really super, super, super high. So I had to devise a way to give my brother this gummy bear without him knowing. So we brought a heap of other gummy bears and we made a little packet of gummy bears in a little packet. And I said that, this was a special gummy bears brought from the shop, and I gave one for him and one for his wife. So it wasn't weird that I was just giving him a packet of gummy bears. And we had the red one at the top, and I gave him the gummy bears and I told my other brothers and sister, and he put the bag in with his kids' lollies. We're like, we can't let him. We need to get him the gummy bears. So my brother just went up and grabbed the gummy bears and said, I'm going to have some of your gummy bears. And he's like, they're mine. So we all took some, knowing which one not to take. And then Dwayne, the younger brother, gave it to John, making sure he got the red one. And he ate it. And then his face, he likes chili and he thinks he's a bit tough. So he was at first, he's like, oh, what's wrong? He knew he was thinking it was going to taste like diarrhea, like the little jelly beans that taste gross. And his face just started getting red, and he's dry reaching and crying. He did really, really well. And then he got me back. His gorgeous little 4-year-old niece, that daughter Elba, my niece, gave me these. Auntie Nat, have a jelly bean, or have a jelly bean. I'm like, oh, jelly beans look a bit weird, and I ate one. It was a chili.
They're strange, but I'll give it a go.
And I ate it, and it was a chili, and it was like nothing compared to the gummy bear chili. But I was crying, and I drank about a whole litre of milk. See, it smells now. When you chop it, it doesn't smell. So I think you've minced well.
I've given it
a good mincing.
Squished. Okay, so we want to add this. Had to think about that. Smells really nice. Coriander. And that's looking delicious.
It is nutritious. If you're on a raw food diet, then this would be...
That's your go-to. That's go-to.
Prawns are cooked. And maybe not the wine. So what's next? Chopping cucumbers.
They're all done. Now I need to do the rest, prep the rest of the ingredients, and they're going to be popped into the cold soup.
Now we're going to skin. We've decided to skin the cucumber, even though it doesn't say to skin it because it's just doesn't feel right to leave the cucumber skin on. Skin, seed, and dice the cucumber and tomato. I'll do cucumber.
I'll do tomato. And I don't really know what size to actually chop them. I'm going to say relatively small. Don't want too big a lumps.
Dice.
But where I haven't tried it before.
No, it is a bit hard doing a dish and you're not eating it because you don't know what to expect. Green and red. More green and red.
It's a very healthy, very colourful.
Ooh, I lost my bra. I left my knickers in my boyfriend's car. Know that one?
No.
It's one of those little songs you sing when you're a little girl.
No. Heard of Pink Pink to make the boys wink?
Oh, I don't know that one. Oh, it's Shirley Temple is a star. S-T-A-R. That's where it comes from.
Okay. And the tomato.
Avocado. 2 ripe avocados, peeled and chopped. My male cousin taught me how to chop avocados, and I think I've done it the wrong way.
So, I've heard that I find this way, so you chop it in half, and then I heard that you do slices. Yeah, yes. And then you peel it out. But I find it easier to actually just go in with a spoon and scoop it out.
Avocados are back in trend in being healthy food to eat. There was a while there, to my dismay, that they were not healthy.
I think they contain
we were told
a lot
not
of
to
fat.
eat. Yes, but they
There's
contain
a good fat.
Good fat. Slicing an avocado.
Oh, you see, you are using a spoon.
So the prawns are cooked and cooled. All goodness.
They look lovely.
And we'll put that in there, and I'll put the butter in as well, even though it doesn't say to, because it's lots of flavour.
I think butter always makes everything better.
You do like butter in your food, do you? I've noticed that.
It's very naughty.
Have you tried like really good pakora butter? We shall have to next time we cook with butter. We'll use our local butter, and it's beautiful. It's delish.
Very exciting.
So, num, stirring. That actually looks appetising.
Yeah, it doesn't look
It
too
does
bad.
look nice. How does it
looks
smell?
quite nice. Lots of colours. Smells very tomatoey.
Smells very.
But then you have a lot of tomato flavours going on.
I still think it needs some vodka. So we need to do our taste.
It was very simple.
Very, very simple.
It was just chucking.
We put it in the fridge for an hour. Let me see.
Sounds quite fancy for such a simple dish, doesn't it?
That's yum.
It's good.
I think what's super important is you get a really good quality, that V8 hot tomato juice, if you just got a plain tomato juice.
Well, it's a huge part of it, so definitely use it.
Yes.
But the coriander, that adds loads of flavour. I like that. Delish.
Okay, we'll put that in the fridge, and then we will see you when we try it with our Shiraz Rosé. Interesting. Okay, so here we are. Cheers.
Cheers.
Our Shiraz Rosé. We've just finished cooking the prawn gazpacho, Elouise and myself, Natalie, and this is Teddy, our French sommelier. If this is your first episode of BALLGOWNS and Booze, you will not have met Teddy as yet. If you are on this journey with us, then you and Teddy will be old mates. Teddy is not a barman, though he does look like it. He is a sommelier. Teddy, what's a sommelier?
The sommelier, it's when you taste wine, you did a wine pairing, you taste and you smell different wine and you manage a wine cellar. But you have a lot of job you can do when you are sommelier.
So Teddy has a fabulous story about how he became a sommelier. Teddy, can you tell us?
Yes, because I would like to do my school, but if I want to go in the school, I had to have 18 years, but I had only 17 years, so I need to do emancipation.
It's emancipation.
Yes,
yeah.
Emancipation.
Yeah.
I had to pass on the judge and senior paper because to do my school I had to do responsible of myself.
Yeah.
So
wow.
nice, yeah.
That's a really
young
big
age
deal.
to have a strong decision
Yeah.
sort of made.
Yeah,
It's
you are
amazing.
obviously very passionate about wine.
So we are going to taste Shiraz Rose 2019 of the Verwood Estate with this strong gazpacho.
So we both, in cooking the gazpacho,
Yeah.
were really wondering what flavours you were you chose out of this recipe. Why you chose this recipe?
Because I choose this recipe because we have fresh meat, fresh recipe with fresh rosé. It is similar, and we have a lot of the gazpacho is a very aromatic meal, and we have the tomatoes, avocado, tron, and
Coriander.
coriander. Yes,
Yes,
the
yes.
name, and Tabasco.
Okay, so if I were to choose any one of those flavours on their own, would they pair? So if I was to choose a dish that was avocado based, would it pair with the Shiraz?
I think we need to take everything
Okay.
in the spoon and to taste with the wine.
Okay.
Because we have the fresh of the tomato, we have the trim for the texture, we have the Tabasco to be a little bit spicy,
Okay.
and in the wine you have the more aroma, it's very intensive.
Yeah, I'm interested to see so many flavours.
We'll try first without.
Yeah, maybe we'll try.
I still need to learn how to do that.
And I choose this wine because we have very fresh and low alcohol. And this is a very good pairing between acidity and alcohol in the wine and with this gazpacho.
Okay, so where's the acidity? It's very balanced. It's not an acidic
Acidity,
wine, is it?
it's low. It's low,
Yeah.
fresh, and
Yeah.
very easy to drink. It's not like vividness or nervy. It's very fresh
Okay.
and low alcohol. It's
Okay.
a very well balanced wine.
So we want to get a little bit of avocado and a little bit of prawn. I might try a smaller prawn. Try not to make a mess.
Yeah, getting a bit of each ingredient is going to be difficult, isn't it?
That's right. Oh wow! In all the food pairing wine pairing we've done, that's the first one that I have had a dramatic change in the taste of the wine.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
That's
That's
really
really
good.
yummy.
I was a bit nervous.
That's my favourite pairing so far. Cheers. Well done, Teddy.
Yeah, thank you.
We were
That was-
totally dubious. We were both like, what are we cooking?
Really-
This is going to be really
and that's
disgusting.
delicious as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's balanced between gazpacho and the wine. It is we can feel the garlic on of the palate, and yeah, it's fresh for the summer. It's nice.
That has changed my views on cold soup. I might order one if I see one on a menu in a restaurant now.
It actually makes the wine, because it's a Shiraz Rosé, it makes it more of the Shiraz, more pronounced as the Shiraz,
Expressive,
doesn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Teddy. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Elouise.
Thank you.
We will see. Thank you all for joining us in BALLGOWNS and Booze. We will see you next week.